For my quantitative study design, I will be focusing on the technology of Google Classroom. Google Classroom plays an essential role in education. Google Classroom is a very useful learning management tool that has been incorporated into our district. Google Classroom is an integral part of our educational institution because it is an excellent resource for collaboration. It has provided our district with a means of working together which supports students' learning in cooperative groups and collaborating on research-based projects. Throughout our district, Google Classroom is one of the most underutilized educational commodities, but it is the driving force within my classroom. It plays an essential role for me because I employ it on a daily basis. Not only does it engage my students, but Google Classroom allows me to reach my students where they are through differentiation. It has provided me with insight into various elements of engaged learning as I design lessons for my students. Google Classroom is a crucial resource for the field of education and within my current career. Can engagement be improved with Google Classroom? My question is, what is the influence on behavioral engagement of third grade students using Google Classroom to learn multiplication facts? My goal is to determine whether Google Classroom has a substantial effect on students' behavioral engagement. The participants for this study will be third grade students. The participants will consist of 53 third grade students. Since the third graders are students in my school, I will be using convenience sampling. These choices are the best fit for this study, since the third graders would provide a captive audience because they are the students being tested. Therefore, they are a very convenient sample. The data will be obtained through observation. The students will be divided into 4 groups. Group 1 is the intensive group, the extremely below level students. Group 2 is the targeted group, the below level students. Group 3 is the proficient group, the on level students. And group 4 is the advanced students, the above level students. The groups will be scored on a range from 1 to 3, with 1 being not engaged and misbehaving, 2 being somewhat engaged but still some misbehaving, and 3 being completely engaged with no misbehaving. Google Classroom would be used for instruction. Google Classroom would be used to provide instruction to only one class. The other class would have direct instruction from the teacher. Both classes will have 10 minutes of instruction, and at the end of the 10 minutes, each student will be allowed to practice multiplication facts on their own. One with the use of Google Classroom, and the other with simple multiplication worksheets. After the 10 minutes of independent practice, we will observe the students' behavioral engagement for the first time. We will start with group 1 and go in order until group 4. Once group 4 has been observed, we will allow them to practice independently for another 10 minutes and then observe them again in the same order. We will continue this process until each group has been observed 4 times. The teachers will switch classes after each observation so that each teacher has an opportunity to score each class twice. The next day we will switch the classes and their type of instruction so that both classes are observed using the same instructional and practice methods. Reliability and validity will be used to help analyze the data. We will use inter-rater reliability to determine the percentage based on how often we agree on our observations. Based on our reliability, we will use content validity by asking an expert on behavioral engagement, such as a behavioral specialist, to determine whether our findings are accurate. At the conclusion of the second day, we will analyze the data by determining our percentage of agreements to establish the overall effectiveness of Google Classroom on the behavioral engagement of third grade students in our class.